What's up, guys? We are here. We are live. Can everyone hear me okay? Everyone hear us all right? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. All right, perfect. All right. So you guys get to be the test. We're testing out going live more often with StreamYard. So this is going to be a very rough, a rough live stream. Basically using this to get me more familiar with it so that we can go live more often. So thank you everybody that has joined so far. Let me pull this up. Okay, now I can see everything. All right, perfect. All right, so what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Hello, Iggy. Hello, Yeehaw. Hello, Country Boy. Hello, Chicken Nugget Gaming Time. Jester, Mud Bucket. I don't want to miss anybody that's here now. All right. Yeah, so basically this is just a test of using StreamYard to do more live streams on the channel. And we are going to also, as you know, at the end of the stream, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to give 2 figures away, 2 brand new NECA Ghostface figures to 2 people that are tuned in. Hello, Ghostface96. Hello, Kay. Mud Bucket. I think I accidentally ate toxic bacteria earlier, but that won't stop me from being here. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Hello, Carrie Ann. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Carrie Ann is in the house. All right. So, what's everybody up to this weekend? Anybody do anything fun? Chicken Nugget Gaming Time says he has one of these figures and they're really cool. They are really cool. Well, as you can see, we've got a couple of them. We've got these. I've got an open one somewhere. So let's talk about. Let's see. Iggy, just enjoying my free time playing a TCM game. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of that. A lot of that. Actually haven't played it at all this week though, so need to get back on that. I feel like when you stop playing it for like a week, all of a sudden you jump on and everybody's like so much higher than you as far as your XP goes. So you don't want to quit playing for too long or else you get too far behind. Jordan Williams, go ahead.
That's also been occupying a lot of our time too, playing TCM.
Jordan Williams just picked up the Rob Zombie Halloween, Tot Smash from Spirit. Yeah, I haven't gotten the Rob Zombie one yet, but I definitely want to get that. Looks really awesome. Carrie Ann just got back from Fan X Salt Lake, met Nev and Dermot. Yeah, I saw your picture with Nev. That was awesome. I'm glad you got to meet her. She's amazing. She was definitely one of the nicest Scream. I mean, everybody I've ever met from Scream was amazingly nice, but she was definitely at the top. I watched Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell earlier. Yeehaw, I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to make a note of that and check it out. Yeah, I haven't seen any like updates since I've been on, but they maybe have one now because, like I said, I haven't played it in about a week. But Michael Garcia, good to see you too. So was anybody able to get one of the New York Comic Con Ghostface figures? I was able to get two. I guess they ended up not being that hard to get. A lot of times when NECA does those like limited quantity figures that they put up during like the actual Comic-Con, a lot of times they go up and they're like 5 minutes. They're like, oh, we're sold out for the day. But I was able to get two the very first day, and then I kept checking every day after that, and they were pretty much available for at least close to an hour each day. They pretty much went for an hour that you had to get one. So Jester, I have seen Shockwaves. It's awesome. Yeah, it is really creepy. Carrie Ann, not to get off subject, but what are the sweatpants behind you? Those are actually track pants. Those are Brad Pitt's screen worn track pants from Fight Club. Those are the actual pair that he wore. The actual pair that, as you may or may not know, most of Brad Pitt's wardrobe in that movie came from thrift stores. So a lot of the stuff there was only one of. And obviously they made replicas of some of the vintage stuff that they needed multiple of. But there was only one pair of track pants. So that's the original pair that the costume designer found in a thrift store in California and that Brad wore in the movie.
It took you 21 years to find those exact pairs.
Yes, it did.
Right there.
I wanted them ever since I saw the movie in 1999, and took me over 20 years of looking to finally find them. They should make a Scream version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I feel like RJ keeps saying that there's some sort of Ghostface or Scream video game coming out at some point, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know what it is. Iggy says, thought about that, but how would such a game work? I feel Ghostface usually does not attack groups of people. Also, Ghostface doesn't really chase his victims like TCM. Yeah, I thought about that too. My thought for a Scream video game in, the way that Texas Chainsaw and Friday the 13th plays, for example, one of the things they could do that's really cool with it is just like when you're playing Friday the 13th and you don't know until the game starts if you're going to be a counselor or Jason. I thought if they did like a Scream or a Ghostface version, it would be interesting to have the same concept where you have all these characters. You pick a character, everyone picks a character, and there can be maybe a total of anywhere from 1 to 3 killers every round. And it's completely random. And only the character that's chosen as the killer knows that they're the killer. And they have these additional things that they can do that the other players can't do. And I think it'd be interesting if you could switch in and out of costume. So you could sneak away, put on the Ghostface costume, run out and like chase people and whatever. And then at any time you could go somewhere, change back to your normal character outfit and act like, oh, whatever, then you're just playing like with everybody else. And I think that could be really fun. That could, especially if there's multiple killers, that you'd have players trying to figure out who the killer is. I think that would be really interesting. Oh, Leon Killer, what do you think is in store for Scream 7? Any speculation, like characters, location, or possibly ending the franchise forever? I don't know. At this point, especially with the strikes and everything, nobody's even allowed to talk about these movies. I know they're super top secret anyways, but when you add the top secret nature of Scream, a Scream movie that's in pre-production, when you add to that there's currently a strike where it's like the writers and the directors, the filmmaker, all the actors, nobody can talk about it anyways. It brings that level of secrecy up like 10 times. So yeah, there's really I haven't seen any reliable information or rumors or speculation about anything. I know initially the one rumor was that it was supposed to be in New York again. I don't know if that's true or not. And I think that information just came from the fact that the production information that leaked supposedly said that it was filming in the same exact area that they in Canada where they filmed 6. So I think it was maybe more of an assumption that it was going to be New York again, because Canada. I mean, you film up in Canada, they can make any of those places look like anywhere. So yeah, I mean, we don't even know who's writing it yet. No idea. I don't know. I don't think it'll end the franchise forever. I think there'll always be a way to do more Scream films, for better or worse. I think that they could definitely end the Sam and Tara storyline for sure with this one if they wanted to. And then, of course, they could revisit it, 10, 15 years down the road if they wanted to. But it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell whatever they do with this to see what if any story there is left with all of these characters. Because now the new characters that are new, Sam and Tara and Chad and Mindy and all them, if they survive Scream 7 and then they don't do another movie for another 10 years, then they're going to be legacy characters when the new, Scream 8 comes out or whatever, 10 years down the road, hypothetically. So that could be interesting. Jordan Williams, what is your favorite piece in your collection, Ghostface wise? Probably Roman's costume from Scream 3, or this guy back there, right there. That is one of the main hero masks from Scream 2. So probably one of those two. What about you?
I definitely have to say the costume or the Scream 3 mask, because it has its own unique shape with the twisted chin.
Yep. Mudbucket, thoughts on having Christina Carpenter as Ghostface? I think it'd be pretty lame, to be honest. Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of one of those things now where that's all fans are speculating and talking about ever since 5. Just the fact that she wasn't in 5, even though she was in the original draft of Scream 5, she was actually in the bar where they get into the altercation. She was at the bar drinking, so she was in the original draft, and they literally just cut her out because they didn't need her. Radio silence, 100% confirmed that. They were like, it was no conspiracy, no we're gonna save her to we don't want to reveal her now because we're gonna bring her back later. They just were like, she doesn't even need to be. It's not important. She doesn't need to be in the scene, so they removed her. And then when the Scream 5 first draft leaked online, And everybody saw that she was originally in it, but then they took her out. That's kind of when that speculation started of like, why isn't she in this movie? And why isn't she in the sixth one? And, maybe they'll do it, but I think it'd just be a really bad decision and it'd be really obvious because that's all people are talking about. Like, you go on any of the forums and online and stuff like that, and that's everybody's talking about that. Literally, everybody's like, oh, they have to have her. I don't think they have to have her as a character. I don't think it matters. I mean, as far as the plot and when they mention her, she's basically like a deadbeat mom that doesn't, she's never around. She doesn't really care about her kids at all. They don't really like her. So I don't think she even needs to appear, but I don't know.
I see a good question there.
Where?
It says, what was the hardest screen use prop to get?
Oh, okay. Let's get to, I want to make sure I don't miss any. Kay says, Channing, which mask hanging behind you is your favorite?
That one.
Which one?
The
Arctic Ghostface?
Yeah, the Arctic Ghostface. Or the aged mask.
Yeah. Legacy character. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything here. Iggy says, I recently got lucky, found an old TD mask in good shape for $10. That's awesome. I've never, and I don't know if you got it at Goodwill, but I know that's like a big thing that, 'tis the season, it's Halloween season. Goodwill's getting in all of their Halloween stuff. And every year, it never fails. Every year, people post like, look, I found a Gen 1 at Goodwill for $4, or I found a Gen 2 for $3 at my Goodwill. I found 4 Gen 1. Like, I've never even found a Ghostface mask at Goodwill. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the the area that I live in. I have no idea. But yeah, I've never found a Ghostface mask at Goodwill. Never happened. Never been lucky. What was the hardest screen use prop to get? Oh. It's hard to answer because they're all hard in their own way. Sometimes it's you just got to find it. That's the hard part, for the most part. So, a lot of times once you find it, then it's just a matter of like, is it for sale? Do they want to trade something for it? Are they willing to get rid of it at all? If they're not right now, will they be later? We'll keep an eye on it. Sometimes it's kind of easy once you find it, but it's the finding it part that's hard. So, some stuff like those track pants, I mean, 20, 21 years I looked for them before I was able to find them and get them. Silent Night, Deadly Night axe, I would say, was hard because there's literally nothing for that movie like in existence. That's the second prop that I've ever seen from it, ever. We can't even find, like, I've tried to find anything from that movie like for years and years and years. And then when the axe finally, it was discovered, the person that had it didn't want to get rid of it, and then it just, a lot of weird stuff had to happen in order for it to basically eventually be offered to me. So that was a hard one. Oh, Jester, what's your thoughts on the last 2 Halloween movies? I really, really, really loved Halloween Kills. Yeah, I love that one. I love the story of it. I loved all of the kills, I thought it was really brutal and violent, and did the opposite kind of what the original did. Like 2018 was kind of, it had its gore, but they were definitely trying to make it more along the lines of the original as far as suspense goes. And then Halloween Kills was just like balls to the wall, crazy. I liked Halloween Ends. It was weird, it was different, but we were told that from the get-go. Like, a lot of people are going to hate this movie. Just shut up, sit down, shut up, eat your popcorn and watch it. And, you're either going to love it or hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. What did you think?
Yeah, I definitely liked Halloween Kills a lot better because the body count. I also love that scene where it comes out of the burning house.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right. That's actually supposed to take place right after 2018.
For sure, yeah. What's your oldest screen use prop? It's got to be the Silent Night, Deadly Night Axe. I mean, that movie came out in 1984, and I believe it was shot in 1983. So, yeah, I would say that. I can't think of one that older than that. Which Ghostface mask of yours do you consider to be the sturdiest? Well, I guess it'd be like a cheap answer to say the hard plastic ones. Probably any of the ones from Scream 4 from that era. I mean, we're talking that movie's almost 15 years old now. And it's like, they're still like just as rigid and sturdy as, the day I got them in 2011. What's the best boots to wear for Scream 1? Well, as you know, myself and Corey Hirsch and Nick Meese were the ones who finally, through an insane story, discovered the actual brand that was worn in the movie that was unknown for 20 years, 25 years almost, actually. Reebok box. But good luck finding the actual pair. You can go on eBay and find a shitload of Reebok box on there, vintage ones from the 90s and early 2000s. Good luck finding the actual model from Scream 1. I don't know. I don't do like cosplay at all. I love cosplay. I just don't do it. So I don't know. I know that I see a lot of cosplayers posting specific brands and models that are like modern boots that look very similar to the ones used in Scream 1, but off the top of my head, I don't know like what the closest looking one is. Do you know anyone who might have any Scream 5 props, or someone who worked in the costume department? I do. I mean, I have stuff from Scream 5. I helped with the costume department on the movie, so I do know people in the costume department. But the thing with Scream 5 is that movie was filmed like in the, like, it was one of the like only movies being filmed when everything else was like shut down due to COVID. So they had like insane COVID protocols. It's one of the reasons why Fun World sent like 100 masks to the set, where they normally send like 30 to 40 maybe. They sent 100. And also costume design, Emily Guncher, she had, I would not have wanted her job on that film. I mean, every piece that she found that she wanted to use, she had to make sure that she could literally buy like 50 of everything, where normally they would have like 20, 20 of this person's shirt and pants, whatever. Maybe not even that many. She would have to make sure she had like 50 or more if she could, because unfortunately, one of the protocols that they had to deal with was at the end of like the shooting day, everything that people like wore and touched or was on their face or something got destroyed. Just flat out, boom, toss it, burn it, whatever they did, including a lot of the ghost face masks, because that's right up against your face. You're breathing into it. They're not going to let somebody else reuse that the next day. And they did a lot. They did the same with a lot of the costumes. So a lot of the masks were destroyed. A lot of the costumes, the wardrobe was destroyed. There is some wardrobe out there. I have some of it. There's a couple other collectors that got some, but most of that stuff was not worn. Most of it was just backups because they had so many. A lot of the screen use stuff was destroyed. As far as like props, like knives, a lot of those did get out. I have one. Those were all kept by the effects department that made them. That Jeff Goodwin. I hope I'm getting his last name right. I think it's Jeff Goodwin, makeup and stuff. Yeah, they kept all that stuff. So they sold a ton of those knives privately to collectors and makeup pieces. They had a bunch of appliances left from when Wes gets stabbed in the neck. They had a bunch of those pieces left. They sold a bunch of that stuff. So that stuff's out there somewhere. Favorite ghost face. Billy is mine, but I've lumped for Roman and Jill as well. That's a hard one. That's a really hard one.
Billy and Stu would have to be mine. Billy because he's the OG, and Stu because I think he's really funny in the first one.
Yeah, I have to go with Billy for sure. As far as if you want to say favorite ghost face, that's not Billy or Stu. That's not the OGs. Probably would be between Roman or Mickey. The reason I like Mickey so much is just because, well, first of all, I love Tim Oliphant. I mean, he's great. Like, he was great in Scream 2, even though he was relatively unknown. Little did we know we were going to get so much, more amazing work from him after that. But I just thought he played it so well. And I love that his character has no ties to Woodsboro whatsoever. He's literally like, doesn't care. He's not like, he's not after anybody specific. He just wants to kill people and get famous. So I really like that about Mickey. Let's see. Yeah, anyone that's wanting to do really accurate cosplay, the boots, I understand why you'd want to have like as close as possible, but when it's something like this, when it's a case like this where you're probably never going to find like the same pair, your best bet is just to get a pair of black boots, or just, wing it, just be like, screw it, just get a pair of black boots, mix and match, get a pair that is readily available, like get a pair of, Doc Martens from like Scream 5 or Scream 6 and just wear them. Most people aren't going to notice. Yeah, they experimented with a lot of fabric. Obviously, they had my costume as reference for Scream 5 and some fabric that I had from Scream 4 from when we did that one. And they sent me a ton of like swatches to get my opinion, and they went back and forth on, I mean, that type of fabric is so I always tell people it's hard to explain unless you actually like physically see a screen used costume from one of the movies in person, that it's so hard to replicate the like most of the replicas out there. They're either too shiny, like too much sparkle, or not enough sparkle, or there's just, they can never get that balance right. And so they experimented with a lot of different options, and they ended up just using what was essentially very similar fabric, like feel wise, and then they just did a spray on with it. They just did like a metallic spray on it to get that effect for Scream 5. But yeah, the fabric that Emily ended up picking was from France. She found it somewhere in France, and she bought everything they had left. It was already discontinued when she found it. So let's see. Yeah, Amber's burn appliance. Yeah, that's what I mean. Most of what was left over that wasn't destroyed, that actually made it out into collectors' hands, was stuff from the effects department, like makeup appliances and the knives and stuff like that. So I think it was the right choice killing off a legacy character like Dewey in Scream 5. I mean, it sucks. I never wanted any of them to die, but I kind of had a feeling it was going to happen. And I think it was impactful enough to the series that, and I know they say it, I know Amber says it at the end, that Dewey had to die to make it real. But it's kind of right. It was kind of like, I mean, at this point, one of them needs to go. If they're all going to be back again, and this is going to happen to them for the 5th time, the odds of all 3 of them making it through a 5th attempt, at someone killing all of them, it's getting, again, quoting Richie, not trying to, but as Richie tells Sydney, like, surviving this many times would just be ridiculous. So yeah, I think it was a necessary evil, we'll say. I'm sure they could, but the problem is that who's they? Like anytime they do one of these movies, it seems like they get a whole new costume and wardrobe department, and most of them, they don't have time to figure that out. Like by the time they get hired, it's like, here's the script, we start shooting in 2 months or a month, and get to work, so they don't have time to I don't know how long that would take. But the thing is, there's a lot of fabric out there that's almost identical. It just takes a lot, like, and part of the problem too is you can't just be comparing it to what you see on screen, because it looks so different in person. You have to have something like tangible to compare it to. You have to have like an actual costume or a swatch from an actual costume and compare it.
There's a good one.
Where's that?
Right there.
Where? Tell me when to stop.
Right there.
Okay. I just lost it.
Right there. Go up.
All right, we'll get it here in a second. We'll come back to that one. Chat's moving kind of fast now. Okay, what should I do? People ask. Where is the Hero Gen 1 mask and robe? Well, there's several out there. There is at least 3 hero robes from Scream 1 that are in private collectors' hands, as well as, let's see, 1, 2, I'm just going off the top of my head here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say there's 4 confirmed Scream used Gen 1s from Scream 1 in collectors' hands. Then, of course, you have one that was Kevin Williamson has one. So there's 5 there. Tony Caesar has one, who was the stunt coordinator for Scream 1. So there's 6 accounted for. And then the infamous Sydney attack mask with that very well-known dent in the eye. Planet Hollywood has that somewhere. That was on display at Planet Hollywood in Florida for years and years and years and years. And I'm pretty sure that one, it might still be open, but I don't think they have it on display anymore, but they've got it somewhere. So they've got the Sydney attack mask. And then recently, Henry Winkler auctioned off 2 masks that he kept from set. One of them was a K&B mask that was cut up. The other one is a Fun World. It's a Gen 1. And it's got a lot of staining on it. The tassels are cut off. And it's got this really unique like dent like right here, like right by the nose and the top of the mouth that looks to be permanent. And I actually just like this was like last year or something, maybe even 2 years ago that he auctioned those off. But I actually just recently pretty sure I screen matched it to the mask that it's very brief, in the very brief shot where Billy gets shot in the head at the end by Sydney, and you see that mask that was laying on the floor. That was like a perfect Gen 1 mask. It's totally not the same mask after they do the just shot where the blood goes everywhere. And, you see him like he dies and the knife is like on the mask and the mask is there. It's definitely got that dent there. So I think that's that one. And that's where the staining came from because that blood's sticky. So they probably just, after they shot it, they just took the mask and wiped the blood off, but it still probably left stains. So there's actually quite a bit out there, but I guess a lot of people consider the main hero mask from Scream 1 to be the Sydney attack mask, which that's, like I said, that's in Planet Hollywood's hands. Thoughts on the arm tassels in 6? Yeah, I like the costume in 6. I wasn't huge on the hood. I thought it looked good. It did look good. It didn't look bad. It just looked weird to me that it didn't have the foam, insert in it to give it a little bit of structure. I know you could tell it was a heavier material, so it did have like a shape to it. It did have a shape. It wasn't just like, all whatever. But it was kind of odd to see a go after 5 movies, of the costume having that foam insert in it to give it that kind of structure. It was odd that they didn't use it in 6. All right, everybody. That Nate guy on YouTube is in the house. Thank you for dropping in. You're in Montana wrapping up the Western States in the Spirit Halloween tour. Still hitting Goodwills, looking for those OG Billy Box. Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love if you found a pair of those. I'd also love to see you find some Gen 1 Ghostface masks. But yeah, definitely check out that Nate guy on YouTube. If any of you guys haven't, his channel's amazing. He does probably the best Spirit tour videos I've ever seen, and he goes to so many. Like, I feel like he's been to every Spirit store in the United States, I feel like. So that's amazing. Yeah, good luck finding those. Let me know if you find them. Let me know if they're a size 12. That's what I'm looking for. Hannah, cool how involved your son is with the live stream. He's like your little media manager. You love this stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Other than Ghostface, who is your other favorite slasher? Probably Jason. What about you?
Jason or Michael?
Jason or Michael? Yeah, I got to go with Jason. Friday the 13th was the first horror movie I actually ever saw when I was like 8, and obviously it was part 1, so it wasn't the one with Jason as the killer. And yes, I was very confused. Like by the time I saw a Friday the 13th movie, there was already like I think 8 of them were already out. I think Jason Goes to Hell wasn't out yet, but it was very clear. Like everybody knew who Jason was, and he was the killer in Friday the 13th, and he wore a hockey mask. So when 8-year-old me rented the original Friday the 13th, I'm watching it the whole time, like imagining every time somebody got killed that Jason, with a hockey mask was the one killing everybody, and was shocked and confused when it was like, wait, what? Like it's his mom? Like I don't understand this. But no, yeah, Jason for sure. If you're familiar with it and know about it, give us your thought on the original Scream 4 opening that was supposed to have Sidney and Ghostface battling it out. I am familiar with it. I think that's cool. Yeah, it's really cool that Kevin, wrote or Kevin kind of finally revealed. There's a great podcast out there. I wish I remembered the name of it. I would definitely plug it. But Kevin Williamson finally revealed like what his original idea was for Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 5, and Scream 6 if he had gotten the chance to do all of them the way that he wanted to. Basically Scream 3 opened with Sidney being in the opening scene. And he did that intentionally to make everybody go, oh my God, Sidney's in the opening. She's going to die. And here it was just her experiencing a home invasion, and she kills the people that are trying to break into her house. So that would have been a really cool opening for Scream 3. And yeah, he revealed everything. I don't want to give it all away, but just look up Kevin Williamson, the podcast that he did like, I think it was like just a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. But yeah, he finally talked in depth like, this was my original idea for Scream 3. This is who the killers were. It was not Stu. He again confirmed on the podcast that Stu's dead. Do you know if the reshroud fabric is made from the same fabric used for the robes? Are you talking about which movie are you talking about, Mud Bucket? Or are you just saying in general? Let me know and I'll try to answer that for you. Why does the Scream 5 mask have circles on the eye mesh? They're like little screens, and it's just, another way that they did all they could to hide the eyes. Because when you got those studio lights shining, sometimes, and I can tell you this from filming Scream 4, when you got those studio lights and close-ups and stuff, sometimes you'd have double eye mesh in these things that were so dark they already could barely see out of it, but you get that studio light that close and all of a sudden it's like night, like you can see their eyes. So they'd have to do like another layer. Scream 3, to save time, they actually had Brian Avery wear black stocking over his head under the mask anytime they were having issues with that. So they'd have, instead of sitting there going through like all these masks and being like, oh, we're going to do 2 eye meshes on this one and 3 on that one and make it super dark. And they just looked at it. It was like a rush production. So they were just like, screw it. Just have him put a black stocking over his head under the mask. And, if it's a stunt where he's running, he can take it off and put the mask back on, whatever. But yeah, no, the circles, they're like little screens almost. They're not metal, obviously, because it's like right up against your eye. But yeah, it was just another way to kind of have something else there to block the eyes from being seen. Hey, Nate and Channing, who played Ghostface in Scream 5? Why was Lee Waddell replaced in Scream? Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the name because there's like a lot. That's the thing with these movies, and I think people are finally starting to see that. Years and years and years ago, it was like Ghostface, it's Dane Farwell. Dane was Ghostface in Scream 1. He was, Ghostface in Scream 2, except there were some scenes where it was Chris Duran. Scream 3 was Brian Avery, and in Scream 4 it was Dane. And, now we're starting to see what I've already known for years and years and years, but a lot of these people didn't come out and talk about it. But Dane actually was Ghostface very little in all of the films. He probably played Ghostface the least in Scream 1. But there were so many people. It's like Lee Waddell and, Ted Barba, and there are so many. When I interviewed Tony Caesar, who was the stunt coordinator for Scream 1, he flat out told me, he was like, everyone always says Dane's Ghostface in Scream 1. And, he has no problem with Dane. Dane doesn't like the spotlight, so it's not like Dane's out here saying like, oh, I'm Ghostface. It's not a case like that. It's just, fans saying Dane, Dane, Dane. Tony's like, dude, there was probably 22 people, different people that played Ghostface at some point in that movie, me included. Like, Tony's the one that kills Kenny. He's the one that slits Kenny's throat. And Tony's like a shorter guy, so he had to stand on like a box crate or something. So he was like, looked tall enough to do it. Dane was Ghostface basically in the garage. And like, maybe there was a couple other moments here and there, but he was him very little, and he was hardly in Scream 2. Scream 3, he didn't play Ghostface at all. Scream 3 was one of the only movies where it was 90% of it was Brian Avery. Obviously, there were other people that stood in. When they did the reshoots of the ending and stuff like that, there were some different guys there. They didn't bring Brian back for like some of the reshoot stuff. So, oh gosh, there's so many names. Christopher Dukes is another unknown one. He did the reshoots for Scream 3 as Ghostface. There's so many, and Scream 5 is no different. There's, I think, at least 4 or 5 different people that played him in Scream 5. Why was Lee Waddell replaced? I don't know that he was really replaced. That's just kind of the way it works. These stunt guys are like, they get a job, and it's like the studio just wants to pay them for like scene by scene, not necessarily like they don't want to hire just one stunt guy and be like, you're this person for the entire movie. And they bounce around a lot. It's kind of like you hire a stunt coordinator, and the stunt coordinator's like, all right, who do I got? All right, let's get Dane Farwell in here for this one today. And then, he's doing this other TV show tomorrow. So tomorrow, let's get, Ted Barba in. He can do this scene. And, but Ted's got to leave at noon. So then we'll get this guy to come in. Like, that's really how it works. Okay, Mud Bucket, back to that question. Just any movie in general. No, the hood, any of the times they replace the hood for the mask, like reshrouded them for the films. It was not the same material as the costume. The most of the Gen 1s in Scream 1 were not reshrouded. They just cut the tassels off and put the Velcro on it. Scream 2 were not reshrouded. That time they left the tassels on, put the Velcro. Scream 3 was also not reshrouded. Scream 4, all those collector's edition hoods were removed. But then what they did was they took like standard EU masks and they took the hoods off those and then had them sewn on by the seamstress. So they actually like, it was like a ghost face, like a transplanted, they removed the collector's edition hood and then removed one from another mask, like a normal hood or shroud and put it on. And then Scream 5 and 6, they were just completely custom made like from just regular black fabric. But the Scream 5 ones are like long. Like if you had like a hero mask from Scream 5 and you're holding it, it's like super long. It had buttons in the back. Do you think the gold, metallic, and current day masks could go up in value in the next 20 years? I think any of them could go up in value in the next 20 years, with the exception of, maybe ultra whites, just because they never seem to really change. But yeah, I think a lot of that stuff is definitely going to go up in value.
And we have a gold one right back there. That's it.
Yeah, we got one of the newer gold ones. I love that mask so much.
That I got from RJ from Fun World for my birthday.
Yep. Saw I have a poly shroud devil face, so I went to the Exchange military department store and found French tag poly shroud devils with a 2023 sticker over 2017. Yeah, mine is tagged. Let me see. Oh. Sorry, there's like little space here when we do these. Mine.
I have 2 more in my room. You want me to go get them?
Yeah. Mine just has a Dead by Daylight tag on it, and it doesn't have a sticker over the tag. I don't know if you can see that. It just says, I guess I can read it. April, June 2021. Let me look inside. $2/17/22, but this is like handwritten. I really am trying to get this so you guys can see that. The tag in here is like handwritten. Damn it! Why am I having so much trouble? Come on. Too much light. Come on. Show it. Man, it just does not want to focus on that. But yeah, it literally has it's handwritten on the tag, but this is a prototype from Fun World. So this one here, it might be like just like a test run mask. Like I said, literally the tag inside this mask has handwriting on it for a date and like a code. So this one is a prototype directly from Fun World. And then this is one of the original ones.
We've had that for like 5 years, I think.
Yeah, we actually got this from Tim Wagstaff years and years ago, and it has a 2017 tag in it. But yeah, this is one of the original first time they released this mask. And then this is the one, I think this was from last year. Yeah, 2022. This is the one with that plastic hood, and it's got the really shiny mouth on it. So
I thought that kind of felt like fake leather.
yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be, but it's definitely just plastic. Favorite scary movie? Friday the 13th or Scream. They're tied.
I actually have a question for you guys. Have you watched any like new horror movies recently that like recently came out?
Yeah, has anybody seen anything new that's good? Well, you guys put answers in. Dino says, longtime fan of the channel. Thank you. Love when you show up on Craven, something scary. Yeah, I love doing his channels or his streams. Craven's awesome. I love giving him, he loves it so much. You know, he loves to share that stuff. So I love giving him like behind the scenes photos and stuff that has never been seen.
Evil Dead Rise. That's the bloodiest movie I've ever seen.
Dr. Sleep. Yeah, Dr. Sleep was awesome. Loved Evil Dead Rise. Hell House is amazing. My friend Joe Bandelli, who directed the Paranormal Activity documentary that we did together, that I produced with Anthony Massey, he produced all the Hell House movies, including the fourth one that's coming out. Yeah, I love the Hell House movies. They're great.
Talk to Me.
Talk to Me was amazing. Did anybody order The Hand? I don't know if anybody saw that, but A24 is selling a replica, exact replica, like 3D scanned hand from the movie. They took like the actual prop and 3D scanned it, and they're making exact replicas. So I definitely ordered one of those. Can't wait till it gets here.
I'm ready for Saw 10 as well.
Definitely. I did not see The Nun 2 yet. I will check that out when it's streaming.
Did anybody see The Boogeyman? The new Stephen King movie?
Yeah, that was really good. We just watched that couple last weekend, maybe.
Last weekend.
Last night we watched that new
No One Will Save You or something.
Hulu movie. It's like an alien invasion, home invasion movie. No One Will Save You. Really cool movie. Creepy, different, very different. No dialogue except maybe like 2 words spoken in the entire movie, but it works. Yes, Jordan, I'm also looking forward to the new Exorcist movie. Malignant was amazing. I love that movie. Oh, the OG Nick Meese is in the house. The amazing Nick Meese. Yes, I'm also looking forward to Totally Killer. The Fear Street movies. I thought the concept ended up being like a lot cooler than the movie itself. I didn't dislike them, but I just kind of was like, with all 3 of them, I was just kind of like, I just felt like, you know, all the promo photos and trailers and stuff that they released were like 10 times better than the actual movies themselves. Well, let's see. Well, we've been already going for like an hour. Holy shit. Okay. Let's give away one of these figures. We've got 2 to give away, but we're going to give away one right now. Let me get my little thing here. right. So has everybody that is watching, have you commented? And if you haven't, put a comment in now, because otherwise your name will not be able to be selected. So if you have not commented at all, just put anything you want in there, just so that your name is on the screen, so we can do this random selection here. I'll give everybody a couple minutes. Yeah, if you've already commented like a bajillion times, it's fine. We have everybody's name on a list here, but if you have not commented at all, then put something in there so that you are able to get into the drawing. Thanks. Yeah. And like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this one. We went live a couple other times, but
I think one
yeah,
time actually only.
I think I did it once by myself to talk about Scream 5 maybe, and then you and I did it one night just to do it. But those times we just used YouTube. So it was a lot harder, and everybody, like Craven, if Craven's something scary, and a couple other people that I know that do this, they're like, dude, just use StreamYard. It's so easy. And, so I was like, well, how do we, learn how to use it? And they're like, just do one for fun. And, people will watch and, play around with it. So that's really what this is. We're just learning. That's why we have the Powered by StreamYard logo in the corner up there. We're using the free version right now to make sure that, we like it and we want to keep using it before we do the paid version that allows us to do, more stuff. So yeah, we're definitely going to do a lot more, and I'll start saving some, recent things that are required that we get to show on some of these streams. Also, I like to do streams too, where, if there's something specific that you guys want to see, like, I can show you, I can give you a closer look at something. So I like to do stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that's coming out.
Yeah, Five Nights. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that movie.
I think I've wanted them to make a movie since like the game came out. Like as soon as it came out, I was like, we should make a movie.
Yep. Does Channing know what he's gonna be this year for Halloween?
Ghostface from Scream 6.
There you go. Yeah, we've got the aged mask. We've got a nice little toy shotgun. That's like a sawed-off version, very similar to the one in the movie.
And actually, I can go.
Yeah. Yeah. Right here, Becca, you got it. As long as you leave that comment, we're adding the name to the list. There we go. There's the shotgun there. This is off of Amazon. I think it was like $30. I mean, it's not exact, but it works. It's the right size and everything. So that's going to be his little Ghostface shotgun. I guess he's going to be Wayne Bailey. I'll have to bring like a crumpled up beer can and just throw it.
And I was thinking maybe we could paint this black because the orange is kind of annoying. But I was thinking maybe we could paint it black.
We'll talk about that. It's probably not a good idea to paint it. There's a reason that has an orange tip. It's so that like a cop coming down the street doesn't think that you're holding a real shotgun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Did I ever see a stone Ghostface sample that didn't make it to retailers? I don't think I saw one, but I know maybe I did see a picture of it. I know I've read about it for sure. I'm just not remembering if I ever saw a photo of it or not. There you go. Were you ever too scared to watch a horror movie? Like, ever?
Maybe when I was younger and I was like kind of getting more realizing like that things like that can happen. But
yeah, he gets freaked out by stuff that's like could happen like for real, which was the same way I was. Like horror movies, not saying that some
like
of
the
the
Zodiac.
yeah,
Like
Zodiac.
that actually did happen.
Yep, Zodiac happened. You know, that's how I was when I was little too. Like, you know, I loved being scared by horror movies, and you know, they did freak me out, but very rarely did I like go to bed like, oh my god, Jason's gonna get me, or you know, Leprechaun's gonna come in, or you know, some freaking monster is gonna. No, but I would watch Unsolved Mysteries as a kid, and any of those would be like, oh my god, someone's gonna break into the house and shoot everybody, and you know, steal all. Like that's the stuff that scared me. Stuff that's like reality scares me. Do I think Fun World will do some reruns of the Scarecrow Ghostface? One of the best, in my opinion. I don't know. I do know that mask was really expensive to produce. Now, that was at the time. It's been a long time since they made it. I don't know if costs will go down. They make some pretty elaborate masks now, you know, with like the Arctic masks and the chrome masks and all that other stuff. So I don't know. I guess they could. That'd be cool. I'd be down for seeing Scarecrow come back. Paranormal Activity. Yeah, no, that movie scared me bad the first time I saw it in theater. That was one of the most amazing experiences. We actually got to see it when it opened in like 25 campuses and before it opened wide. Channing, that movie scared him as well the first time he saw it.
And I also produced the documentary.
Yep. You're in it too.
That was pretty cool.
That was your idea. The whole documentary that we made that's on Paramount Plus for Paranormal Activity called Unknown Dimension, the story of Paranormal Activity. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Tells the whole making of all 6 films and then a little bit about the making of the 7th film. The whole thing was his idea.
I still had to finish the new 7th one. And I like fall asleep like 40 minutes in.
You did.
We started kind of.
You didn't miss much. Okay, let's see. We've got one of these that's about to be given away. Why don't you hold that? Right. We are spinning. So it is not going to be no trickery here. We have all the names. We are just spinning it right now. Everybody that's currently in here, it's going to stop on 1. Let's see.
Can I spin the second
Still
one?
going. Yep. Still going. Still going. Still going.
I'll hold it like that.
Keep a hold of it.
Kind of see everything.
Okay. Jordan Williams, you won one of the 2 figures that we have. So I am going to put, let me see how to do this. Again, bear with me. It's the first time we've done this. Okay, I just put, let me see if I can I pin it? Come on. All right, I guess I can't. Okay, I just put my email in the chat. I can't figure out how to pin it from here. But if you're one of the winners, send me an email at that email address to send me an email with your name and address, and we will get this sent out to you. And all right, anybody else have any more questions before we give away the second figure? Any other questions before we give the second one away? Going once, going twice. Yeah, the message. Anyone can message me on Instagram. Any questions that you have, that if you can't think of any right now, we can do that. I will respond for sure. It might take me a few days. I'm very bad with that. Like, I'll see the bubbles and I'll see that I have messages that I haven't read yet. And I'm just one of those people that goes, I'll read those here in 1 second. And then it's like, 5 million seconds later, several days later, I'm like, oh yeah, I never did that. So I'm not ignoring anybody. Anybody that doesn't get a response right away, I'm not ignoring you. But just know that I probably looked and was like, oh, I got messages to respond to. I'll do it in a second. And then it just didn't happen. Has it been confirmed whether or not the lack of the mouth hole on the aged masks is intentional? Are you talking about the ones like Fun World's official aged mask? Yeah. He says, yeah. I'm not sure. I didn't even notice it right away, but eventually I noticed it, and I don't know. I can find out. If there was a reason that they did it that way. Okay. Let's see. What's up, Captain Frosty? Thanks for being here. What was that one? Will you guys be doing streams on a schedule or just random if you start liking streams? We'll probably come up with a schedule. That's the plan. The next one might be random, just because I think now that we've done this one with the free version of StreamYard, we're going to want to do one with the paid version that has a lot more options and stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. There might be one more random one before we come up with a schedule. Okay. And doing another spin. How about you say the name?
All right.
When it stops, okay?
All right.
So, but yeah, we are liking StreamYard a lot.
Iggy Eggs.
Iggy Eggs, you won the second figure for the giveaway. So again, I will put my email in here again because it's probably way up there now. All right, there's my email. Send me your name and address. We will get one of these out to you. And yeah, we actually have one more of these. We will give that one away, as well as a couple other things that we want to give away on the next stream. So we're going to do another giveaway. Let's see. I know I said it was going to be random, but I don't want to leave everybody like not having any clue of when we're doing it. So let's say I think we could do Thursday night, Thursday the 28th. I'll know for sure tonight. I'll double check and make sure, but if so, I'll post up a link again for Thursday. But we can do it. We'll do another one Thursday with the paid version of StreamYard, and we'll have some more stuff to give away. So congrats to Jordan and Iggy and everybody else. Thanks so much for watching this and, being patient with us as we learn the ins and outs of StreamYard.
Lots of good questions today.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Think of some more questions and stuff. And like I said, the next one, it's probably going to be Thursday. But what we'll do, I mean, you can ask anything you want, but I'll get a lot more of my stuff in here. I've got stuff kind of randomly everywhere on display, but I'll get some more. I'll bring some of it up here. So if there's anything specific that you guys want to see, like close up, go ahead and grab the Scream 2 mask. We'll give you guys a nice
real one up there.
Yep, on the left. We'll give you guys a nice close look at the Scream 2 hero mask before we go. One more little gift to show you guys. All right, here it is. So this is the mask that was worn by Alan Robinson. We know that he has a mask himself. The mask that he kept, the hero mask he kept, is the one from the opening scene. This one was also worn by Alan in Scream 2, and this is actually the mask during Ghostface chasing Gale through the college, that great, super scary chase through the sound booth and everything. And when she gets locked in there and he's banging on the glass, that is this mask right here. And this, as you can see, we're going to have to do some work and figuring out our lighting. But yeah, there we go. This was signed to the prop master Skip Crank by Wes Craven. Signature is still on there. You can see the Velcro on the hood still. You can see the dark stains here from the glue for the darker eye mesh. Yeah, this is it. It's still got a really nice shape to it.
Nice crescent shape.
Yeah. I love the crescent shape of this one. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's one of two known screen-matched masks from Scream 2, which I think is one of the best horror sequels of all time. Not just a Scream sequel, but a horror sequel in general. So, yeah, this is probably my favorite mask that I own, for sure, from any of the movies. People always ask me if it still smells like vanilla. A little tiny bit, like a little tiny bit.
And actually, somewhere right there, there's a little bit of stage blood right there.
Yeah, there's like
the littlest dot ever.
I don't know if it's gonna pick up on camera. Probably,
but
not.
It's there.
Yeah, just trust
right
us.
There.
It's there. All right, there. You can see it. Right there. There's a little blood stain on it still. So, all right, guys.
Anything else you want to see back here? Up close?
The Drusif, yes. Definitely, yeah. Slap the like button. I always forget to say that. I need somebody to slap me and remind me to say that more often. I feel like I watch all these guys on YouTube that have been doing it for years and years and years and years. And it's just like they've got it down pat. Like smash the like button, subscribe, share, do all this stuff. I always forget to say that stuff. I just get on and I start talking and I want to hear from you guys.
Says, what's the other mask on your shelf?
Where's that?
Right there. That's the Scream 4 mask, right?
Yeah, that's one from 4. That's a production mask from 4. You can put that one back and bring that one over. Might as well. It's the only other really cool mask that I have in here that was actually used from a film.
This one smells a lot more like vanilla.
Yeah, so this
newer.
one, that's just a unused.
I'm having trouble hearing. Can you say that again?
Wasn't
Happens all
talking.
the time.
We weren't talking to you, Alexa. Sorry.
Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. Yeah, this is unused production mask from the reshoots of Scream 4. Yeah, really still smells like vanilla. It's got a really cool shape to it. Got it. So again, not screen used, but was one of the, as Fun World describes them, a counter quality mask, which is basically the type of mask that they would take to a trade show. You know, it's like painted perfectly, and you know, there's no blemishes or anything. It's like the perfect version of a ghost face mask. So all the buyers are like, yeah, we want to buy these. And then, you know, they get them and they're not, you know, they're not as perfectly painted because these would be been made in like a smaller batch. So
Anything else you want to see up close?
love you too, Joseph, Drusif. My brain, sorry. Yeah, we'll do this again Thursday. Hopefully you can be there. Hopefully you all can be there. I will post a link. Thank you, everybody. Again, this was just like a little test run so we could try out StreamYard. So we'll probably do a lot more of these for sure on a schedule. But I think the next one's going to be Thursday with the paid version of StreamYard, so we can mess around with that, and we'll give away some more stuff. We do have another one of these figures to give away on Thursday, and I've got a couple more things that I'm going to give away as well. So make sure that you tune in for that. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for participating, and we'll see you guys next time.